Welcome back, guys. So I promised you a quick video on what to do with all those potatoes that you just pulled out of the ground. How are we gonna store them? What to do? Small tips. Let's get to it. And if you didn't grow potatoes this year, maybe you're planning on growing potatoes next year, and this is just something that you're gonna need in your back pocket. You gotta know how to take care of them when you're done. Okay, so first thing is don't wash them off super powerful right off the bat. Pulling them right out of the ground. All these little cuts and nicks from the shovel or whatever you use pulling them out of the ground, this skin is super tender until it starts to dry. You typically want to let it dry overnight and let that skin harden up before you start giving it its initial wash. So what we did is we sprayed them off lightly, got most of the dirt off. You're not going to get all the dirt off, but you want to get a lot of it off. You will wash them again before you use them in the kitchen. So I put old Kodo Bear there on the hose, and he just gave them a good washing after we had let them sit overnight and let that skin harden up. There's also another technique is you just fill up a bucket with water, put your hand down in there, swirl them around a little bit. Do that a couple times, it's gonna get the dirt off pretty darn good too. What you don't want is to be getting a bunch of dirt down in your sink drain. You want to let them dry overnight. You want to make sure that they are completely dry, not a lick of water on them. Just simply spread them all out over a big old piece of wood, a pallet. If you got a piece of screen, you can flip oven racks upside down so you got air underneath them. Those are all great ideas. Don't do this in direct sunlight. It is recommended that you do it in the shade, a cool area, in the shade, let them dry. Next thing you could do, separate larger ones from smaller ones. You guys can store the smaller ones separate from the larger ones. That way you can grab what you're looking for. Also, you want to separate the bad ones from the good ones. Any of those ones that you've hit with the shovel, you damaged them a little bit, nicked the skin, stabbed them, you want to use these ones first because these ones are going to go bad a lot faster than the other ones. Okay, so we made it under the house. This is where we have built an under the house crawl space root cellar, kind of a prepping station. If you guys haven't watched that video yet, I'll put a link right up here in the corner of the screen. Be sure to watch that. There's a lot of people out there that could mimic this type of root cellar system. Okay, so while I'm doing this video, the kids decided to come and serenade. Every time that I go under the house. Okay, so you never know what's going to happen on the old homestead. Next step is you've gotten everything completely dry. Not a drop of wetness on these things. You don't want that. You get these things to where you're going to store them in a timely manner. If you take too long, no joke, these guys are going to start sprouting on you in like 4-5 days. So I used to keep these things in potato bags. We actually went down to a hardware store and got these big, huge bags, these big, huge potato style bags. And it says coffee beans on them. They work great. But I found I like just keeping them in those black planter pots that you get a tree in. They got holes in the bottom. They allow airflow. You want to keep them up off the ground. Let some airflow go underneath so it doesn't create moisture. The other super big deal is you got to keep it in a dark place. And that's how I do it. It's got to be dark. That light is going to push those things to sprout. It's also got to be cool. That's the other huge part. Now, if you don't have a root cellar, if you don't have this under the house type of crawl space that you can put it in where you know it's dark and cool, most people have a dark and cool place in their house, like a closet, a downstairs, a basement area. Dark and cool is the key. And there you have it. If you guys follow these steps, These bad boys are gonna keep for about 8 to 9 months easy. If you found value in this video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet, and we will see you guys on the next one.
Oh, you're such a sweet man, huh? Oh, Sheds. Yeah. Big lover boy. Sheds. Sheds. Come here, Sheds. Sheds. Sheds.